Hello and welcome to the transcription explanation of this design. It was done using Loren Sherman's version of Circular Gallifreyan. It's a fan-made script. It's not canon, but it's really cool. And it uses various combinations of dots and lines on different stems to make consonants. And the vowels are all smaller circles, and it matters where their position is located to the word circle and to the stem of this whatever letter it's on. So this is like an A, B, A, J, A, T, A, T, H, A. E, B, E, J, E, T, E, T, H, E, so on and so forth. And this is punctuation. So now on this design, it was intended to be a metal art thingy, traditional drawn on a piece of metal thing. I cut a decal, stencil it on, spray paint over it, and then I hit it with some marker afterwards. So I did go and do one more circle around it on the actual 12 by 12 piece of metal. So that kind of completes this sentence circle here. Anyway, so you read bottom counterclockwise, and this sentence has a kind of an interesting format. There's a couple chunks here. There's this word here, there's this chunk here, and there's this chunk here. Now, the order on this looks kind of ambiguous to start, and that's okay, because it can be read kind of ambiguous and still make sense. So you could read this first, or you could read this first or last, depending on where you go with your bottom counterclockwise and if you consider this to be part of this or this. Anyway, let's go ahead and hop into reading the words. I'll start here. So here's the bottom of this short sentence circle with only one word in it. It has this more than 50% more than 50% complete deep divot stem, and on it there's just a vowel. There's no dots or lines. So this is just a B, and this vowel is an O because it's towards the middle of the word circle and on the line of the stem. So B-O, and here's another O. It's just hanging out loosely. B-O-O. And then here we have two dots on this stem. So 2 dots on this stem. Circle inside the circle. 2 dots is a K. Now this line passes through it. It doesn't end on it. So none of these would count because they all pass through, even though this is kind of sketchy at the corner here, and I'm aware of that. Anyway, so K, and then we have 1, 2, 3 lines on a shallow divot, which is an S, and then we have an exclamation point. So books, exclamation point. Continuing around. Another B, and then we have an E enclosed inside that. And then we have 1, 2, 3 lines ending on a shallow divot. So it's just like this S. So this is another S. And then we have a T because we have this line passing through it. So it doesn't count. This line doesn't count because it passes through it completely. So no modifiers on a shallow divot. So B-E-S-T. This is just the line from the S. Continuing on, here's the bottom of this word circle, right about here. So this is kind of pushing it. This one is read second. This one is read first because the bottom is right here. This is the bottommost stem. And it has 1, 2 lines ending on it. Again, passing through doesn't count. So 2 lines ending on a shallow divot is a W. Continuing around, here's an E, A. And even though this is kind of small for a stem, it's still slightly bigger than the vowel. And it's got a vowel on it, so you know it's got to be a consonant with 1, 2 lines ending on it on a circle inside the circle. So that's a P. And here's another O. So O is like a beat on a string. And then we have an N, because 1 line on a circle inside the circle is an N. And then this is kind of my biggest stretch in this design. I didn't want to busy this up any more than I had to, so I just used this as my shallow divot on this word. And I made sure to have nothing end in this area of this sentence circle. And that is an S. So weapons. Continuing around, this is just the line from the P and the N. Here we have an I, small circle with a line going towards the middle. And here we have another N, 1 line coming out of it, just like this one has 1 line on it. This one has 1 line on it. So in, and then we have a TH. Here's the bottom of this word circle. TH. TH. E. So the, and then we have 2 lines ending on a shallow divot. So W. And now we have an O because it's like a beat on the string. Here's an O on a T stem. O. And then 1, 2, 3 dots on a shallow divot. R. and then 3 dots on a circle inside the circle, L, and then 3 dots on a more than 50% complete deep pivot, D. So world, and then we have an exclamation point. Cool. So best weapons in the world, and then use read spiraling inward. So this is the thing we read next. TH, nothing ending on it. That's just a TH. I, because it's going towards the middle. So THI. And then 1, 2, 3 lines on a shallow divot is an S. So this. And then 1, 2, 3 dots on a shallow divot is an R. And then we have a double line, so it's a double letter. So that's a double O, O, O. So R, and then O, O. And then 1, 2, 3 lines on a circle inside the circle is an M. And then we have an apostrophe because it's going to the sentence circle and nothing else. And it's 2 lines, so apostrophe, and then 1, 2, 3 lines on the S. So rooms, like a possessive rooms. And then THE, so TH stem with an E. So THE, the, continuing around. Here we have an omega, or more than 50% complete deep divot, with 1 line ending on it right there. G, 1, 2, 3 dots on the R. E, A, because E's are on the line of the word circle, A's are outside of it. Then we have a T, because nothing modifying a shallow divot. E, because it's nestled right in the center of the stem and on the line of the word circle. And then we have 2 stacked stems here. So you read thin to thick, so this thin line has 3 lines ending on it. So this is an S. And then this thick line has nothing ending on it, so it's a T. So greatest. Continuing around, here's the bottom of this word circle. Here's an A. So A is first. Continuing around. This is not a stem, it's a line on the N. This is the thin line with 1, 2, 3 dots on it, so that's not an exclamation point, that is 3 dots on a shallow divot, so R. Then we have 1, 2, 3 lines on the thick one, so that would be an S, so A, R, S. E, on the line of the word circle. N, A, L, 3 dots, just like this L. Arsenal. And then we have 2 lines, 1, 2 lines on a shallow divot, so that's a W. Then we have another E, just like this E, and that E, and lots of E's. That E. W, E, we, and then we have 1, 2 dots. K, O, U, line going backwards, just like an I, except, opposite. U, U. And then 1, 2, 3 dots on a circle inside the circle is an L, just like this L. And then 1, 2, 3 dots on a circle that's more than 50% completed. Deep divot, so that's a D, just like this D, just like this L. I did kind of the same trick here. So K-O-U-L-D, well, K-O-U-L-D, could. And then here's our last word, kind of nestled in the middle because you can spiral inwards. Bottom, 1, 2 lines. This one passes through, so only 2 count on a deep divot, so that's an H. Continuing around, here's an A, because it's outside the word circle. A, continuing around. This is punctuation. It's the period at the end of the sentence. This is a V because it's got 1 line on a shallow divot. And here's an E at the end of have, period. So this room's the greatest arsenal we could have, period. So yeah, that's this. Woo! I made a fantastic metal art thing, by the way. You should check out my gallery and see it if you haven't already.